Okay, here we go.
Everything looks pink to me, and that's my favorite color. So could we be my new favorite thing? Yeah, and that's my favorite color. So could we be my new favorite thing?
Welcome, everybody, to the Sanctuary, the first ever live from Patreon Sanctuary that we did on a whim.
Yeah, we were in here working on a different project that we're very excited about. And then PD said, let's just do it live.
Yeah, you know why we're here at all doing the Sanctuary?
Because you saw something?
No, because of Janet.
Oh, because of Janet!
Yeah. Because I saw something and because of Janet, but mostly because of Janet. Janet was disappointed in us not having the Sanctuary, so we're bringing it back for the last week of the season. And, there's a lot we could talk about. There's a really big episode coming up.
Oh, yeah.
And so there's so much to discuss there with season 50 and everything. But I thought, what if instead we check in with our good friend, Big Tom?
Let's do it.
So a couple days ago, I got on YouTube, and there was this random news report that wherever Tom lives, the local news station, they're like, hey, Survivor, it's wrapping up, season 50. Tom's in our town. What if we just talk to Tom? And they did about 4 minutes, and we're going to listen to the whole thing.
The hit CBS show Survivor is celebrating its 50th season. Casey caught up with one of the early stars of the show, Southwest Virginia native Big Tom Buchanan. Casey?
Sarah, first off, Big Tom still has that same big personality, even 20 years after his time.
Okay, before we get into the rest of it, I just want to say the juxtaposition between this guy speaking the way that he does in the news reporter voice and then him talking to Big Tom. It's very funny.
Time on Survivor. We talked about the importance of his farm and hometown and family and some of the best memories he has from his time on Survivor and the superstardom that came with it. From a front porch rocking chair at a home he grew up in Rich Valley, Virginia,
see what's in here.
Tom Buchanan, or Big Tom as he is known to millions, recalls his early days.
This porch goes around, and when we were small, hey, we played on this porch. It'd be raining out there, right? It didn't stop us. We was on this porch.
In 2001, his wife and childhood sweetheart, Sandy, made it.
What's a good pull quote we could get from his childhood? We were playing on the porch.
We playing on that porch.
It was raining, but we were playing on the porch.
It's a good porch.
Yeah.
Made a decision that would change Big Tom forever.
My wife was a big fan of Survivor. She's got to see it. And she said, you'd do good on there. I said, well, hell yes, I would. That ain't no problem. I said, all you got to do is camp out and this and that. And so anyway, she said, well, I'm gonna put your application in.
Big Tom's a big personality and simple.
Okay, so far, you can make out everything he said.
Yes, yeah.
Coming up, you're going to have no idea what he's saying.
In the Patreon chat, Will said that we need to put the porch quote in the intro for next season. Big mistake. That's a good porch.
That would be pretty funny. It was raining, but we were playing on
that porch.
Simple Southwest Virginia ways made him an instant star.
We was just doing our regular thing, and of course me, I'd never seen one, and I was going, hey, get me, I want them to see in Rich Valley, because they ain't going to believe it. And so they'd say, Big Tom, you just do your things. We're going to do our thing.
And that's exactly what Big Tom Buchanan did.
He didn't acknowledge basically anything he said. It's just Big Tom was like, I'm going to do my thing.
And they said, do my thing.
Yes, after basically everything he said was unintelligible, he's like, and I'm going to do my thing. And then the news reporter guy was like, and he did. And then moving on to the next thing.
Eventual lone survivor Ethan, Jesse, Lex, and the whole crew.
Is that going to get that picture of me and Jesse Camacho and them girls on me? I said, Lord have mercy. I said, they 24 hours a camera's on. And I was in that tent with them women.
After Survivor, Big Tom became a worldwide star.
I couldn't go nowhere. I was Elvis Presley. He ain't got nothing on me. I just can't sing. I ain't got a picture.
The pictures on the wall of his current home are a shrine to those glory days.
It was tough back then. I watch it now. The feed them French fries.
He was also a Survivor All-Star.
feeding them
Commercials
French
for the
fries.
show earned him a cabin, which sits high on the hill of his 1,000-acre cattle ranch. But for Big Tom, it's always been family first.
I won't get that tree and put it in the camp. She said, "You're stupid."
The spotlight has faded. The friendships have not.
They'll still call me. He said, "Hey, how's them cows doing?" I said, "Good." He says, "You sold any yet?" And I tell him, But and Lex comes up. He comes up. He wants to work and do things, and he's getting where he's pretty good.
A big personality and
Lex is getting
Survivor
good.
Season 3 superstardom took Big Tom across the globe, but he always came back to Rich Valley, Virginia.
I've been to Africa. I've been to just everywhere, but I always come
hit
back
pause.
here.
Hold on.
History
Hold
says
on,
Big
hold on.
Tom
His season was Survivor Africa.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Man, I've been to Africa. I've been everywhere."
Yeah, just
So-
everywhere.
So he's been to Africa, but in his mind, that's everywhere.
Yeah. I think he also went to New York or LA for the
Oh, for the
probably New
finale.
York. So he's
Yeah.
been to New York and Africa.
Did they do the live finale season 3? Yeah, they did. But I don't think
Definitely.
Jeff was the host yet, or maybe he was the host for starting in season
Yeah.
3. One of the smart people in the chat will let us know.
finished fourth. He says he did much better than that.
Doing everything I've got to do, I couldn't say I wasn't a winner.
In Rich Valley, Virginia, Casey Marler, News Channel 11.
What a report. I loved
Hey.
having that pop up in my algorithm.
Yeah,
just
that
out
was
of nowhere.
awesome.
It's like, what does Big Tom think? Well, I listened to that. I don't know what Big Tom thinks.
I don't think Big Tom knows what Big Tom thinks.
No, he might not.
But at least we know that Lex is starting to do pretty good.
He's doing things. He's starting to get good at it.
He's not getting good.
I don't know what he was talking about with the women.
Yeah, he's how's that do with them women?
So good to hear from Big Tom.
Yeah, man. Which season 3 doesn't get talked about enough,
No.
or at least not in our circles. Fellas, by the time you're 26, you should be talking about Survivor Africa.
You should be. Let's talk about somebody who people don't want to hear from as much as they want to hear from Big Tom.
Oh, we about to play another sound?
Yeah, so the cans are going to have to come back on because we're going to be playing a clip. This is a clip that I grabbed from the secret scene that was deleted from episode 12. It was the scene was just them reading tree mail and kind of just saying run-of-the-mill stuff before they did the challenge.
Running up that mill.
A challenge at this point is the only guarantee you have to get to the end. In theory, there's 3 more challenges, including today. Well, I mean, think about it. If you win out, you got a seeded final 3. So if you're not thinking that's a big deal, you're mistaken.
Why did this vital information get cut from the episode?
So basically what Joe just said was, man, if you win all of the challenges, then you don't go home.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, he's starting to figure out the game.
He is. And if you're sitting there thinking like, oh, that's so obvious, like, why would you even say that? It's because you're not really thinking about it. If you're really thinking about it,
bro,
then you'd be saying, if you think about it, if you win out, you're safe until the end.
you got a spot in the final 3 if you win out.
And you got to really think about that.
You got to think about it. You thinking about it?
I'm thinking about it.
I was out there with them women, man, and we were thinking
I was
about
out
it.
there with the women, and then my wife, and she put in my application. She said, "You can do it," and I said, "I can
I
do
said,
it."
hell yeah, I can do it. All you got to do is camp out.
Yeah,
He went pretty far that season, if I remember correctly. He was well liked.
and by the looks of it, he's slimmed down a bit
Yeah.
in that interview. And so what I'm thinking is, should have cast him instead of Joe.
Oh, man. How old is Big Tom now? Did they
Too
say?
old to be. I mean, you listen to that interview, right?
Alex wants to know why we think Joe is blocking everyone on Instagram. Do you have a theory? Because I have a theory.
Yeah, we need to talk about Joe.
We need.
I
think we need to talk about Joe.
If this was a clickbait YouTube channel, we would have a video titled, "We need to talk about the Joe situation."
Yeah, this Joe situation is insane.
Yeah, he's blocking everybody. I think what he's going through is pretty tough. Do you feel bad for Joe at all?
No.
Do you think you should be able to take all the criticism in stride and not have this kind of him blocking people and making these kind of videos?
The issue is he's blocking fellow castmates. My theory is that there is some drama going on behind the scenes with the castmates, with the contestants in group chats. I think people are talking mad shit about Joe. Like, I bet Tiff, because Tiff got blocked, I would imagine maybe Tiff said something to Sari in a group chat that also had Stephanie in it, and then so Stephanie ran and told Colby, and then Colby told Joe about how Tiff said that Joe didn't deserve to make it to the finals or whatever. You know, I just think it's contestant drama.
Is this all speculation?
Yeah,
Or
all
is there-
speculation.
I was about to say, do you have some info into group chat gate?
No.
Is there some smoke to this?
I don't. Well, I've seen some people talking online about how there's been some drama. Who was it? Someone's post interview with Mike Bloom. They said that the live reunion is going to be interesting because there's a lot of drama behind the scenes.
That is interesting. I hope we get some kind of blow up at the finale, because that's what made those live finales so much fun in the past, was the animosity.
Yeah.
And does anybody feel bad for Joe?
Yeah, let us know in the chat. Does anybody feel bad for Joe?
I feel a little bad for him.
What is there for him to eat? I don't understand why he's upset. Let's start there. Why do you feel bad for him? Why is he upset?
I think I sympathize a little bit with the position that he's in.
What is that position?
Where you're on TV and everyone hates you.
But
I mean,
does everyone hate him? You know what I'm saying?
He's getting piled on our show, on every show, in every comment section, every video.
But what are we saying? What is everybody saying about him? That he's a bad player?
That he's a baby and he's boring and he sucks, that's okay.
He on TV, where he is a character on this TV show.
Yeah.
He is being portrayed as a big baby.
Yeah, that is true.
Does that mean that he is a big baby in real life? No. But it's just like, any other season, someone gets made fun of.
Yeah.
Look at John Dre. John Dre's getting made fun of like Joe. He's taking it in stride. He's not blocking people on Instagram.
I think it's just a pretty intense situation for Joe specifically, because the last thing that everybody saw was Joe getting humiliated in the final tribal, him getting deceived by Camilla and Kyle. And he's having to process this. And then as he's processing this, he, goes and plays Survivor again. And his response to, I think, what Camilla and Kyle did was to double down on the loyalty and honor and be better at sniffing out somebody who's going to betray him. And so he thinks he's, doing the right thing. And then everybody on the internet is killing him for it.
Yeah, but also, as people are saying in our chat right now, there's a lot of the general audience, like people that watch on that are posted on Facebook about the show. They all love Joe. Like most people that watch the show like Joe because of the whole Eva thing last time he played. It's just the diehard Survivor fans that are typically pretty toxic anyway. Mm-hmm. But this time it's just kind of like, hey man, it's just like what Sari told him. Why are you upset at Devon's? We were going to vote him out. Why are you upset for him for fighting back? He looked like a brat.
Yeah.
You just have to own that up and be like, yeah, I was being a bit of a brat. There could be an added element of Joe might be in the final three and he's blocking people because there's the added stress of him being like, I don't know if I won or not. And he's watching the show and he's watching the edit and he's freaking out. You know what I mean? Like
the blocking people thing is weird.
It is, especially when it's players you played with.
Players and just people doing commentary on Survivor who I don't know. There's no way Teg
deserves anything to be blocked.
There's no way that she was doing like a super mean-spirited video ripping it. That's just not what she does.
No, she's a very positive Survivor fan. There's no way that she said anything that harsh that justifies Joe blocking her.
I mean, blocking Kelly Wentworth and Tiffany, I get that. But Tegwith, you can't block Tegwith.
I don't even understand blocking Tiff. It's like, what is Tiff posting on Instagram that's upsetting you?
she posts her art projects. Maybe Joe was triggered by the art.
Yeah, I just think that he does not understand what Survivor is.
Okay, I reversed my stance. I don't feel that you've talked me out of feeling bad for Joe.
Yeah,
I
don't feel bad for Joe.
He has a show with Tyler Perry.
Yes.
He's been on 2 seasons of Survivor. I guess I can't feel bad for Joe.
And he was in the final 3 the last time he played, which means he got a nice check.
And
He
he's
might
getting it
be in the
again.
final. He might win the goddamn game, PD. We
Yeah,
don't know.
Maybe that's where we should transition into next. But no, we do know he's not winning the game. Or I mean, we don't know
that.
but we know.
Let's talk about it then. I mean, we talked about it a lot in the main episode of who we think's going to win.
Well, first, are you excited for the episode?
Extremely.
Okay, I think a lot of people, after seeing the final 5, and I'm not in this camp,
Right.
I'm really excited for the finale too, but I think a lot of people are like, that's not what I was expecting. That's not what I wanted. I don't like how the game's shaking out, So so this season sucks now.
Will said the fan faves get Final 4 a lot. Yeah, which is why they had to introduce fire making, because they would make it to the Final 4 and then get sent home before the Final 3 because no one wanted to go up against them.
And if you people, I don't know who I'm saying when I say you,
Yeah,
I
you
guess
know who you
to
are.
all the Survivor fans, if you people voted to get rid of fire making, you do not understand
The game.
You don't understand the game.
Everyone in the chat watching, let us know what you voted for, fire making or
And
no
I'm
fire
sorry
making.
if I just said that you don't understand the game.
Well, Jacob
but-
C., one of our top patrons, told me that he did not vote for fire making.
I don't get it. There's a clear.
Oh, God. Elizabeth voted no fire. Oh, by the way, Elizabeth's in the chat.
What the hell, Liz? What's wrong? I mean, is it because of Teeny?
Oh,
Is this-
everyone said no fire.
What? Wait, okay, what's
I don't know. I agree with you, PD. I agree with you
yeah,
100%.
I'm baffled by everyone not wanting fire, because you're basically, if y'all all voted this way and it ends up being like that and Aubrey goes out at 4, for
Okay,
that
we're
reason,
getting-
I'd be pissed.
Oh, well, so this is what they're all saying. They're saying negotiating at 4 is more impressive. It's a social game. We want to see them negotiate.
But there's no negotiating when you're the clear and obvious best player. The other
Right.
3 people have to take you out.
Exactly. And I guess that's a part of the game. But I agree with Jeff that could be fixed.
Yeah, and fire making is not a perfect system because the elements can completely screw you
Which
over.
Elizabeth in the chat said that Teeny got fucked because of the wind.
That's just the way the wind blows.
That's the way the wind blows.
That's the way the wind blows. That's how it blew that day. And because of that, Sam made it to the final. And yeah, Teeny got screwed over, but Teeny also didn't do anything that whole game.
Everyone's saying suck it, PD. Elizabeth said suck it, PD.
Hey, you suck it, Elizabeth.
Hey, that's my wife. Back to what we were saying, though. What led into the fire making conversation?
We were talking
Joe,
about the vote.
do you think
Yeah.
how does the final 3 have to end for Joe to win the season?
I've thought about all the scenarios,
Yes.
and in all of them, Joe makes the final 3.
Yeah, me too. I agree.
Because he can't get a vote.
If Aubrey makes it to the final 3 in any scenario, I think Aubrey wins.
I agree with that. Let's map it out from step by step.
Should I get the whiteboard out? Should we?
Sure.
Actually, we have
it's
stuff on it.
yeah, it'd be a very visual bit.
Yeah, that's true. This is an audio
For
medium.
when this is going out. Okay, so
They're saying in the chat that if Joe is the only one not medevaced, he can win.
yeah, if the other 4, if Banu prays really hard and gets everybody,
smites him.
yeah, if everyone's smote from Banu's prayers,
Is it smote or smited?
I'm gonna go with smote.
I like smote.
So let's talk about the beginning of the episode. Final 5 immunity. Who wins?
Okay, final 5 immunity. Who do we have in play? Aubrey.
Tiff, Joe, Rizzo, Jonathan.
What do we think the challenge is? It's probably going to be an obstacle course.
Yeah,
I think that goes to one of the more physical players like Tiff or Jonathan.
I think Tiff. I think the setup to this is going to be like,
No, it'll end in a puzzle.
yeah,
So Tiff.
maybe. I think Tiff is the final 5 elimination.
I agree unless she wins the
Yeah.
immunity. And
So-
then it could be Aubrey.
Yeah, I think the beginning of the episode, it'll be setting up like if Tiff doesn't win, then she's got to go, but then somebody else might be looking at Aubrey. Rizzo never wins challenges. Rizzo shocks the world. He wins the challenge. Tiffany goes home that night.
Okay.
And then we go into the final 4 immunity. Jandre wins.
Okay. Some motion.
So I said Rizzo wins the final 5 one. Okay, yeah. Rizzo plays the idol, and then the next challenge, you know what? I'm going to say John Dre wins. He wins Samotion.
Okay.
He decides to put the two biggest threats in the game in fire.
Which is Rizzo and Aubrey.
Rizzo and Aubrey. History repeats itself
Rizzo
twice,
goes home at fire again.
and Aubrey wins fire making.
So then that would make the final three Joe, Jonathan, Aubrey.
The title of the episode, I believe, is The Curse is Lifted. Aubrey won fire making and then lost in final tribal. I think this time she wins fire making and then wins final tribal. Curse is lifted.
Or is the curse lifted because Rizzo lost fire making last time, wins it this time? Because here's the thing. If Aubrey gets voted out instead of Tiff, what's that final three look like? Does Tiff even make it to final three, or is it Rizzo, Joe, Jonathan final three? It's going to be people are saying that it's kind of a lame final five. It's interesting because anything could happen.
Yeah, to me, it's not an anything can happen situation reading the edit. Like, I feel 95% positive that I mostly, like, I don't know how it all gets to the point that it gets to, but I feel like reading the edit, John Dre's second place,
Aubrey first.
Aubrey's first, and Joe is a 0 vote finalist.
Again.
Yeah.
I think the edit's saying that same thing, and I think everyone agrees with you online. Aubrey is the clear winner's edit. However...
But you don't think that exists, right? Or
well, no. I think it's... Jeff always talks about how it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So I'm always open to the idea of Jeff messing with the edit to make the fans shocked.
I think the winner's edit is a thing, and you see it most times, but then occasionally there will be a season where the winner comes out of nowhere.
Yes. I think that the edit is very clearly Aubrey wins. However, I do think that there is a conversation that you can say that Jonathan has gotten a winner's edit if he wins. I think the edit's there.
But they've
for
also
Jonathan.
showed him being played, and like Cerie saying he's so easy to manipulate.
Right.
And then you've got stuff like him taking credit for a move, and then you like right after that you get Aubrey in a confessional saying it's really her move.
I agree 100%.
I think the big question is, does Rizzo or John Dre sit in that final three with Joe and Aubrey?
Whew.
And it just depends on the immunity challenge and fire making.
It really does. I mean, there's a world, no one's saying this, but there is a possibility that the final three is Rizzo, Tiff, Aubrey.
Yeah.
I mean, no one thinks that's going to happen, but there is a possibility.
I've been pretty dead set on Tiff, getting eliminated next just because of the lack of editing for her.
Yeah, but then she's won more challenges than anyone this season. We know Rizzo's making to at least Final Four because he's got the idol.
Yeah.
So I think Rizzo's kind of in everybody's Final Three. Tiffany could win out the challenges, like Joe said.
And Tiffany has a win that they're not even counting as a win. Didn't she team up with Joe in the double challenge?
Yeah.
You know they're not counting that, right?
No, they're not. They're counting only individual immunities.
But that I feel like that should count towards your
agree.
individual immunities.
We had a few questions or statements. Aubrey is going to claim all of John Dre's move, which I think would cut the legs out from under him at Final Tribal.
They did that in the edit.
Exactly. Do you think that they will choose Rizzo to be chosen to be Final Three because he was just in 49?
I don't know. If I was Aubrey, I'd be trying to get Rizzo out of there. Or if I'm John Dre, or what if Rizzo wins Samotion?
Which is possible. That's not a physical challenge. That's a very mental and endurance-based challenge.
So I think Joe's not making fire. We're gonna have Rizzo, John Dre, Aubrey, some combination of those making fire.
Yeah, I agree.
And it could
with
be
you.
Tiff. That's the other thing.
Tiff is the wild card because you don't think Tiff makes it because she was not in the show for the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty quick, like, we have a little, like, camp life, kind of like Tiff has to go do the challenge. Tiff doesn't win, and then Tiff goes.
Because she's made herself a physical threat in these challenges. So I can see why they would want her to be the next to go. My argument against what you're saying, which I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm just saying devil's advocate, which is what I call Jeff Probst.
Devin's advocate.
Is because this is season 50 and there were so many legends early on in the season, I think that maybe we didn't see much of Tiffany because we were seeing players that weren't going to make it very far, like Mike White. We were seeing a lot of Mike White, a lot of Christian Hubicki.
A lot of Ozzy.
A lot of
Even
Ozzy.
though Ozzy did make it far.
A lot of
but
Coach.
so much Ozzy and Coach.
Yeah, so I think maybe because Jeff is always preaching about how there's no such thing as a winner's edit, that maybe he's not worried about Tiff getting at least one confessional. Because I mean, say Aubrey wins, she barely got any confessionals in those first few episodes.
But Aubrey's edit, I remember you thought it was really bad. Like you thought Aubrey was in a bad
Right.
situation and that she
But
was
that
gonna
now
go
tells
home.
a better story.
Yeah,
because she was at the
even
bottom.
back then. I was like, she's in a negative situation, but I think it's a positive ultimately on the edit side because all of her confessionals were stuff like, yeah, it is a struggle. Like I am in a bad spot, but I'm going to persevere.
Yes,
Like
I
I'm
agree
going to
with you.
learn from like the games I played in the past, and I'm going to get through this.
And she won me over. I didn't like her at first. Well, I've seen her former seasons, but I didn't like her at first this season. I felt like she didn't want to be there, and she might have just taken a spot from someone who really wanted to be there. But she won me over halfway through the season, and now I'm really rooting for her.
Hard for Aubrey.
Hashtag hard for Aubrey. I'm rooting hard for Aubrey.
Hashtag brick for Brocco.
Brick for yeah, dude. I think it's going to be a fascinating final tribal. I mean, nightmare ending. Joe, Jonathan, Tiff. Maybe Joe wins out of that 3. I don't know. What combination do you think Joe can win?
I'm going to say the same thing, which is there isn't one.
Okay. Because I can see a world where the jury, which is mostly old school players, don't want to give it to Rizzo. But
yeah, I think that is what's going to happen. And I disagreed, or I disagree with the sentiment that the players have towards
I
Rizzo
agree.
if that's the case. Like, I don't think that's fair.
But what if it's Rizzo, Joe, Tiff? Do they give it to Rizzo
I think they would give it to Tiff
for winning the challenges?
for winning the challenges and overall being a likable person. I think Rizzo, he poisoned the Ponderosa well with Ozzy. You know, Ozzy's going to be campaigning hard against Rizzo.
That's true. And he cost Coach a season doing that.
Yeah.
But you have Sari rooting hard.
But is she still? I mean, she
I
might
think
not
so.
be as...
I think she respects Rizzo's play against her. And if
Yeah.
anything, I bet she could convince Ozzy to respect Rizzo's play against him.
So you think that Sari could take Ozzy away from his mopey dingus ways?
Yes.
Okay.
I do. I think Sari is going to be pushing hard for Rizzo to win if Rizzo's in the final 3.
And by saying that you think he could that Sari could move him away from his mopey dingus ways, you are admitting that he is a mopey dingus.
Off the record, yeah.
Okay. Do we have any random questions from Patreon?
Yeah.
I'm going to answer the question as Big Tom.
Is the season 51 winners party in Cancun?
Well, season 51 winners party, I was thinking this is just going to be wherever Big Tom is at. So I'm going to be out on the porch and I'm going to be dancing around and I'm going to call that the season 51 winners party.
I'm going to be out there with them women.
Yeah, me on the porch with the women, and it's going to be raining outside, but I'm going to be on that porch.
We wrapping this thing
I
up?
guess we'll just wrap it up.
All right. Hey, thanks for jumping in on a random Sunday at 9 p.m. for this
Yeah.
live. Is Jonathan alive? I actually tried FaceTiming him about an hour or so ago, and he did not pick up.
Let's give it another shot. I'll call
Yeah,
him.
call him.
I'm just call him real quick.
Call him. Get him on that porch. What is he up? Well, it's Sunday.
Hey, Jonathan, you just missed the sanctuary.
His voicemail makes him sound like kind of a loser.
Yeah, a little bit.
He was like, I'll be sure to get back to you. All right, let's end this.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
You're about to hear some ads that help keep the lights on here in the old studio. Thanks for listening or don't listen. It's really up to you at this point. It's at the end of the show. I mean, you're listening to me. Hi. But here they come. I promise they're coming. Yep, here they are. Happy day.